Cameron had never been particularly sentimental about his belongings. When his apartment started feeling cramped with boxes of old clothes he no longer wore, he simply bagged them and dropped them off at the donation bin behind the train station. It was a routine Saturday morning task. Nothing more, nothing less. 3 days later, everything changed. The evening air bit with an unusual cold for September. Cameron walked home from his late shift at the bookstore, taking his usual shortcut behind the station, past dumpsters and the flickering streetlight that maintenance always forgot to fix. That's when he heard it. A soft, rhythmic sound, like chattering teeth with an odd metallic resonance that made the hair on his neck stand up. He should have kept walking. Every rational part of his brain screamed at him to mind his own business. But something, curiosity or perhaps something deeper, pulled him toward the sound. Behind the donation bin, huddled against the brick wall, sat a woman. She wore his old gray hoodie, the one with the stubborn coffee stain on the sleeve, and his faded jeans rolled up at the ankles. Even the ratty sneakers were on her feet, though far too large. But it wasn't the clothes that made Cameron freeze. It was her skin. In the dim light, it shimmered with an iridescent quality, shifting between deep purples and blues. Her eyes, when they lifted to meet his, were entirely silver. No pupils, no whites, just liquid mercury reflecting his stunned face. "Please," she whispered. Her voice carried the same metallic resonance as her shivering. "Don't report me." Cameron's mouth opened and closed, searching for words. You're not from here, are you?" She pulled the hoodie tighter around her trembling frame. "My pod crashed 3 days ago, in the woods beyond the city. I've been hiding, trying to adapt. But everything here is so cold. It's 65 degrees, Cameron said automatically, then felt foolish. Temperature would be relative, of course. "Where are you from?" You wouldn't have a name for it." Her silver eyes dimmed slightly, her version of sadness. "It's gone now. That's why I left. I was trying to reach the colony on Proxima, but my navigation failed." She trailed off, shivering violently. Cameron noticed frost forming at the tips of her fingers, gripping the hoodie for warmth. Something inside him shifted. Perhaps it was the loneliness he recognized in her posture, the same he had felt since moving to a city where he knew no one. Perhaps it was human decency, or perhaps it was something else entirely, an inexplicable pull. "Come on," he said, shrugging off his jacket and draping it over her shoulders. "My apartment is 2 blocks away. You need to warm up." "Why would you help me?" Suspicion and hope warred across her expression. "Your species. The broadcast said humans fear the unknown. And maybe we do sometimes. But I'm not some human. I'm me. And you're wearing my old clothes and freezing behind a train station. That seems like a sign I should at least offer a hot cup of tea." A small smile tugged at her lips, shifting from blue to a warmer violet. "Tea, you'll love it or hate it. 50-50 chance, really?" The walk to his apartment felt surreal. Cameron kept expecting someone to notice, to ask questions about the otherworldly figure beside him. But the city seemed absorbed in itself, and the dim evening light worked in their favor. Inside his small studio, Cameron cranked the heat to 80 degrees and put the kettle on. Luna, he had finally learned her name, stood in the center of the room, eyes wide with fascination. She touched his bookshelf, tracing the spine of a worn paperback with a shimmering finger. "You collect stories," she observed. "We do this too, though ours are different, encoded in crystal matrices." "That sounds beautiful," Cameron said, handing her a steaming mug. "This is chamomile. Careful, it's hot." Luna wrapped her hands around the mug, and Cameron watched as her skin slowly shifted from cold purples and blues toward warm golds and oranges. The change was mesmerizing, like watching a sunset ripple across her features. "Better?" he asked. "Much," she said, taking a tentative sip. Her eyes widened. "This is pleasant, comforting." They sat in silence, the radiator clicking softly in the corner. Cameron knew he should ask 1,000 questions about her planet, her pod, her journey. But none of that mattered as much as making sure she was safe, warm, and breathing comfortably. "I don't know what to do," Luna finally said, her voice small. "I can't repair my pod. I can't contact the colony. I can't go home. I'm stranded. Then we'll figure it out. Together," Cameron said. "I might not know much about spaceships, but I'm good at problems. And I make a decent cup of tea, apparently." Luna looked at him, really looked at him. Something passed between them. Understanding, trust, the faint beginnings of hope. Her skin rippled with warm amber light. "You don't even know me?" she asked. Cameron thought about his old clothes, about coincidence and fate, about loneliness and connection. "I don't need to know everything about you to know you deserve help. Besides, you looked pretty good in my hoodie." Seemed like fate. Luna laughed, a sound like wind chimes on a summer breeze. Cameron knew then that his ordinary life had just become extraordinary. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but for the first time in a long while he was genuinely curious. Outside, the city hummed, oblivious to the small miracle unfolding in a cramped studio apartment. Two lost souls from different worlds, finding warmth in each other's company. One cup of tea at a time. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.